Again, when the child shall have been in foster care for 15 of the most recent 22 months, or a court of competent jurisdiction has determined child is abandoned, or the parent is convicted of a crime set forth in sub 8, the authorized agency shall file a petition unless, based on a case-by-case determination, A, child being cared for by relatives, B, agency has documented in the most recent case plan, a copy of which has been made available to the court, a compelling reason why it would not be in best interest. C, agency did not provide the services unless the service is not legally required. D, parents are incarcerated or in fucking rehab, and that's been a significant factor while the child's still in foster care, provided that the parent maintains a meaningful role in the child's life based on the criteria set forth in subparagraph V, which is 5 of this paragraph, and the agency has not documented a reason why it would be otherwise appropriate to file a petition. A compelling reason includes, but is not limited to, A, child placed in foster care pursuant to 3 or 7 of the FCA, and the appropriate goal is return to parent or discharge to independent living. B, child has a permanency goal other than adoption. C, child will not consent to their adoption and they're 14 or older. D, insufficient grounds for filing a petition to terminate parental rights. E, child is subject of a pending disposition where they're already in the custody of Commissioner of Social Services as a result of a proceeding other than pending Article 10 proceeding, and a review of specific facts and circumstances of the child's placement demonstrate the appropriate permanency goal is discharge to the parent or guardian. For the purposes of the paragraph, this is this fucking 60 days shit. The child's entry into foster care is the earlier of 60 days on the date when the child is removed from the home, or the date the child was found to be an abused or neglected child, pursuant to Article 10. Okay, so this is the part that I had fucking no clue about. In the event the SSO or agency having care and custody fails to file a petition to terminate parental rights within 60 days, fails to file within 60 days, fails to file a petition within 60 days of the time required by the section, or within 90 days of a court direction to the file. So within 60 days of the statutory time, or within 90 days of court direction to file. Within 90 days of court direction to file proceeding, not otherwise required, the proceeding may be filed with foster parent without further court order or AFC on direction of the court. So foster parent without court order, AFC on direction of the court. In the event of filing, the SSO or agency shall be served with notice and shall join the petition. Okay, so then an assessment of the parent's meaningful role shall be based on evidence, parents' expressions or acts manifesting concern for child, such as letter, visits, etc., with the agency or whatever, and the subjective intent does not mean anything. What the fuck is this? An order committing may only be granted on one of these grounds. And then we have, let's see, A, B, C, D, E. 5 reasons. Okay. Both of the parents are dead and no guardians lawfully appointed. 2, parents whose consent to adoption would be required abandon the child for 6 months immediately prior to the date on which the petition has been filed in the court. 3, the parent or parents, by reason of mental illness or intellectual disability, cannot provide the care who has been in the care of the agency for 1 year immediately prior to the date on which the petition is filed. Or 4, permanent neglect, which is that's the one that's in Article 6, is the permanent neglect. So that's in subdivision D of paragraph 4 of 384-B. That's the one that's in Article 6. Okay. The parents repeatedly or severely abuse the child. That shit was so fucking sad today. Oh my God. That one guy that was executed, and then they fucking had his picture as like a way to teach cops how to recognize child abuse. And like, that was really fucking sad. This shit sucks. I never want to work in family court, man. It should be their own test. Okay, so then this is when the child's abandoned. A child is abandoned by his parent or parents if the parent evinces, I know that word, I just can't say it, and intends to forego their rights as manifested by the failure to communicate with child or agency, although Okay, I know all this part. Subjective intent. Mental illness means an affliction with a mental disease or mental condition which is manifested by a disorder, disturbance in behavior, feeling, thinking that if the child were returned to the parent, they would be in danger of becoming neglected. Intellectual disability means sub-average. It means like mental retardation. The legal sufficiency of the proof on ground C shall not be determined until the court has taken the testimony. Okay, it says the family court judge must take the testimony of a psychologist or psychiatrist in accordance with paragraph E. So the legal sufficiency for paragraph C, which is the mental illness or the intellectual disability, shall not be determined until the judge got the testimony from paragraph E, which is this. In the case of a parent alleged to be mentally ill or retarded, they take the testimony of a psychologist or psychiatrist pursuant to education law and order the parent to be examined by that person as defined in CPL 730. In the case of a parent alleged to be mentally ill or retarded, such psychologist shall be appointed pursuant to Article 35 of judiciary law. Whatever. Permanent neglect, at least 1 year, 15 in the most recent 22 months, and they failed. Okay, this is when they failed completely. Literally, they have done nothing despite the agency's efforts. Okay, now it's time. So basically, if the parent is found based on subdivision C, which is the mental retardation or intellectual disability, that determination or grounds shall in no way affect any other right or constitute an adjudication of the legal status of the parent. So it's not like when a superior court does it in like the CPL. Okay, so now I think it's time to read the stuff that I just haven't wanted to read because it's just going to be so horrible. I really don't want to read it. This sucks. Okay, I have to read it.